I think that he would have wrapped it up quite nicely for us. I'm going to take one more question and one from online because I see the timestamp being presented to me in bold white with the technology down there. So we'll take one more from right here. We had, all right, we have one around here, so we're going to take that and let us know who you're directing your question towards.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm directing my question to the entire panel. Now, we heard the scary number of 85 million jobs that are said to be lost because of disruptive technology. But to balance the conversation, the research also shows that there are about 97 million jobs that will come from AI and other related disruptive technologies. From where you all sit in your respective areas, what would be your recommendations for a playbook for Jamaica over the next couple of years? Where would you focus your time, your resources, your money to make us ready and future-proof for that future to come?
Awesome question. Who wants to go first?
All right, I guess I will go first. So a recalibration is needed. And when I heard about the jobs that we'll lose, I quickly said, but we have so much more to gain. And we have to recalibrate our minds, first and foremost, that there are opportunities. We have to recalibrate the business processes. We have to recalibrate our training systems. We have to recalibrate the trainees and instructors. Now, with that recalibration, we have to do it in the context that we have to evaluate where we are, where we're heading, and what we need in order to get there. And the question came from this table, what do you need? We have to look at the talent that is needed, and we have to right fit our education training and also the approach to learning. It is also very important to recognize that the borders are gone. It is no longer Jamaica or whatever country and we're looking just within. It's open employment. And there are some countries that are even giving what is called a nomad visa. Canada, for instance. Because they recognize their workers are not necessarily going to be physically located in their countries. As ministries of labor, we have recognized internationally that we have to respond to this global shift. Yes, most of our laws are archaic. They're way behind. And we're going to have to catch up in order to make sure it works.
And awesome. If I may read right now, just to add to what Jillian has said very well, in that when you're thinking about the jobs lost, right, or displaced, which you may say, we have to really think about it differently. For example, you may use or automate, for example, your financial reports, so you don't need a financial analyst. But that financial analyst has the skill sets that are transferable to be a data analyst, where they can then look at more market trends that can help the business in terms of where to focus to earn more and generate more income and be more productive, for example. So it means a shift in terms of the skills from one place to another. It also, in terms of the skill sets, it means that we have to look and see, okay, what do we need to add to what we currently have? to meet the needs, right? So it's a continuous upskilling and reskilling program that is also needed where you have those displacements. So it means that it's shifted from one place to another, so you may need to upskill in another area. So it doesn't necessarily mean loss of jobs. It also may even mean an increase in your capacity to do other things. So you may not be doing a particular task, because I'm an engineer by profession, so you get more out of me if I am being creative and innovative in terms of, doing the work that I do, not in sending an email and generating reports. So if, for example, I automate that side of things, I have more time to add more value and utilizing the skill sets that I have. So, we can look at it a little bit differently and not like, okay, this is scary, this is going to mean I'm going to lose my job, but we can embrace it and the opportunities that come along with that. So I just wanted to add that piece.
Just a quick add. I see AI in the short and medium term as a tool that our people are going to use, right? And it's going to be a longer term thing. So if you look at kids who they grew up with iPads and phones and how they navigate those things are going to be far different than if we hand that to somebody who's been in the workforce for 40 years. It's going to be different, right? So to me, longer term, it's got to be putting the tools in the hands of the kids. That's going to be education, and that has to happen far earlier to build that comfort level with that technology, because it's going to be the people who successfully apply that technology who are going to upskill and move up the value chain, right? It's going to be very difficult to give somebody who's been in a particular job for 20 or 30 years and say, okay, now I'm going to take you up the AI learning chain. We have to be honest about how this thing is going to work.
All right, and we have Mr. Thank you. Could you go ahead, please do that. And we're going to hear from Mr. Wayne Chen. I'm going to wrap up this session. Mr. Chen.
But jokingly, following up on Sydney, I said, jokingly, I put it to a group of educators, senior educators at a regional conference a few months ago, whether they would be willing to put all the classroom material on TikTok. And unanimously they said yes. So there's really the obstacle is really a mindset, to moving to where the kids are and what the new generation wants. But we have to be very firm about it. Firm in the sense that we have to be clear. There are several national initiatives now that they are not optional, they are imperatives. We have to have the digital transformation, public and private sector. And that opens up opportunities. It destroys traditional jobs, but it opens up opportunities. We are making a transition to renewable energy. The national target is that 30% of new cars sold in Jamaica in 2030 will be electric vehicles. Are we sufficiently working to build that ecosystem? Everything from the charging ports, the maintenance, to the disposal of batteries. That creates new opportunities. Technology has to be inserted into agriculture and other traditional sectors. I saw where the Jamaican Bauxite Mining Institute, for example, has a sweet greenhouse down in Williamsfield, and it's doing quite well, but it's two greenhouses. How do we multiply that 50 times over? So sweet yam won't be just an expensive Christmas time treat, but something that we can have year round because Jamaicans like it. There's a huge ackee shortage in the country right now. What are we doing in terms of tree crops and moving this thing forward? So there are huge opportunities that are really national imperatives, and I don't know if we are training now, and it's a rhetorical comment, for even to take advantage of what we know need to be done. So it's not a shortage of opportunities, I think it's really a shortage of alignment. So the Prime Minister of the Prime Minister, Minister of the Minister, over the decades have lamented the lack of joined-up government in Jamaica. It's not just joined-up government in terms of ministry to ministry or agency to agency, but it's government, private sector, and so on. We have done well in terms of social partnership and dialogue, as Julian will tell you, as somebody who is in the heart of tripartism and social dialogue. But we need to now multiply that into areas of productivity, because without productivity improvement, we won't have good. We won't have a sustainable future for our children. We won't have the value-added decent jobs that we all aspire for, and economic opportunities. Yes, it might be micro-credentials, it will be micro-credentials. It will be gig work because that's what the kids want. They don't want to be chained to the same enterprise for 40 years and retire with a gold watch. That's not our children's ambition. So we need to align even that and how we talk to our children, as Sidney was saying earlier. Because our children are who we are talking about here. And we have to line them up to make sure that the jobs are future-proof, the economic opportunities are future-proof. And we know what needs to be done. It's just for many who will to do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It is important for us. This is a really good discussion, because we have to understand that we cannot continue to perpetuate a system where TVET is over there and traditional academics is here. We heard from Simon Bartley yesterday. He said there's absolutely no logic whatsoever in separating the two, calling one an elite path and the other a deficit. TVET has to be infused at the early childhood levels, the primary levels. It has to be made explicit at the secondary levels, and it has to be specialized at the tertiary levels. We cannot afford to have a deficit versus an elite pathway. It is not helping us. And if we do that, we can future-proof the economy, because we would no longer have a case where we would have been essentially disadvantaging a sector of the population by not allowing them the opportunity to see and feel and do TVET because of an academic path that they would have taken. When we break it down and we ensure that everybody is in the pool and can choose whatever they want, and we do not take it from them from an early age to say that we're creaming you off and putting you over here, and this school doesn't offer this, so you never get the opportunity to be a chef because you never were exposed to home economics. We are killing the tourism industry like that. You never got to do technical drawing or anything to do with welding or anything to do in that particular area. You're killing the manufacturing and the construction industry right there. So we really have to listen to what our esteemed panelists would have said today, get into that call for action, and ensure that TVET has primacy of place, parity of esteem, as we would have done across the years, and cut the segregation and this false dichotomy. All right? So, thank you so very much. You were brilliant. Can we get a round of applause for Mr. Twaits, Ms. Corodas, Mr. Marr, and Mr. Wayne Chen? The country is in good hands. We have enough players. We have enough policymakers. We have enough advocates. We have enough intellectuals to take us forward. We just need to work together. Thank you.